And we're here with Mr. Michael Eric Dyson. Michael, welcome to Good News in Oakland. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Michael, being a sociology professor at Georgetown, you understand the negative implications of negative media. I mean, just spraying us all day, every day.
No doubt.
What is the sociological effect?
Well, I think it has devastating effect. First of all, if it bleeds, it leads was the mantra of local news, especially in Philadelphia, and then metastasizing across the news landscape. But secondly, I think that the repetition of certain negative images, especially of people of color and vulnerable others, women, Native Americans, Latinos and the such, especially poor and young people, reinforces prevailing stereotypes that are never interrupted by countervailing news. So the narrative of negative news reinforces prevailing stereotypes that disallow black people to be shown in complicated and in full humanity. So what ends up happening is that people think that they're, people who are less than human, that they're likely to be more violent than less violent, that they have less intelligence than more intelligence, and that they're not interested in investing in their own futures. Because we see constant portrayals of negativity in the news media that don't portray the complex humanity of black people.
Absolutely. And Michael, there is good news in that, though, in that we can use new media to reshape the image of black America. Talk about how we use new media, especially good news new media, to reshape and resurrect the image of black America.
Well, black people just flood the cyberspace with images of us, ideas about us. We can Twitter, we can tweet, we can do Facebook, we can do other forms of social media that allow us to interact with each other. We can portray and broadcast good stuff that's going on in the hood, stuff that's going on in our neighborhoods and our churches, our sororities and fraternities, stuff that doesn't make the so-called local news. Local news has a tremendous smell, a tremendous hound on the scent of what is negative, but they don't have any sense of what's positive, what's uplifting, what's edifying. So I think that what we have to do is to remind people that we do exercise agency. We can control some of the images that portray us, and when we exercise profound control over the images that portray us, we begin to flood the market with more uplifting and positive notions of who we are, and therefore it counterbalances some of the negativity that we see out there.
Absolutely. And tonight was an opportunity to see people come together to say we're going to unify and become a different image of black America. What happened on here tonight at the Oakland Marriott City Center that brought all of us together?
Well, we're here because Susan Taylor issued the call for us to mentor our children. She said if you're upwardly mobile, you're black, you're well-to-do, don't dog your kids, don't put them to the side. If you are a person who's committed to education of our future, invest in some young people. Talk to them an hour a week. Talk to them, teach them, tutor them, love them, uplift them, scold them if you will, but only out of the context of love. Your ambition to rectify your moral vision with what you see is the attempt, therefore, to try to invest in these young people. If you want to see what you think is right happen, you've got to invest in that future. You got to not simply predict it, you've got to control it. And when you do that by saying, look, I'm going to grab this young child one person at a time. You got to mentor people one at a time. And when you change this world of black people one at a time, then you rescue some black soul who might have gone to dastardly consequences because you're willing to invest them with the love and the learning that you have.
Michael, thank you so much for your commentary. Thank you for working closely with Susan Taylor, who has said, I'm going to get 1 million people to mentor our youth and really make a difference. She was recognized on Oprah, and we appreciate all you're doing. Thank you for being on Good News in Oakland.
Well, thank you so much. It's good news to have y'all here. And Susan Taylor is one of the great leaders of our country. She's my leader, to be sure. And I'm following her because she has a tremendous understanding of the devastating consequences of neglect for our young people and what we must do to uplift them and to invest in them so that they can provide a future that is bright because we have given them the love and the head start that's necessary.